Yo, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another NASCAR race review. We've had a lot of these lately, and that's great because everyone loves NASCAR, right? That's why you're here. That's why I'm here. And make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of these NASCAR videos because we got a lot left, right? So this is exciting stuff. The truck race tonight, I'm happy. I mean, you can see the smile on my face, the energy in my voice. I'm very happy to announce that Kyle Busch has lost a race in something that is not the Cup Series. That's great. I mean, obviously he doesn't win every race, but it seems as if when he's in the race, you know he's going to compete. And that's what he did tonight. He got second. But why I'm really happy for two reasons. Chase Elliott wins the truck race tonight. That's awesome. And he gets the $100,000 bounty on Kyle Busch from Kevin Harvick and a couple of other guys. I think it's the owner of the Gander Trucks that gave $50,000 each to the winner of whoever would beat Kyle Busch in the trucks to COVID-19 relief. So awesome there. And Chase Elliott is the guy who's going to be able to take that trophy home and take that money and give it to whoever that he needs to give it to and whoever charity that he wants. So that's awesome. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are because I know a lot of you guys are Chase Elliott fans. And let's just get into it. So it's a shorter race. Obviously, you know, the Coca-Cola 600 is, 400 laps. The Xfinity Series race was 200 laps. Tonight was only 134. And tomorrow is like 320 miles or something like that. It's going to go by really fast as well. And that's what I love. I really, really, really liked tonight's race. You know, the first half, again, I said this in the Coke 600. I said this last night. It was boring. I mean, like, really, it was boring. But then the last half, especially when Stage 3 started with, 70 laps to go? I mean, that's when you started seeing guys get aggressive, guys, you know, start moving through the field, and really got to see a lot of cautions. I mean, that probably helped Kyle Busch again, but ultimately, I mean, that last stage, again, was fantastic. If you have the time to go watch the race, I recommend it, but definitely go watch the last 50 laps even. I mean, even the last 30 laps. The last 30 laps are really when it gets exciting, but that was a fantastic race. I mean, it really, really, really was, especially starting at lap 30. There was a couple cautions there, and that threw a bunch of different strategies into play. It looked like it was going to help a couple of guys. It ended up hurting a couple of guys like Sauter, but you know what? I mean, props to the strategy. Let's go through it. So, stage 1, Kyle Busch ends up winning the stage 1, I believe, right? Gosh, it doesn't say that right here. Yes, it does. Okay. Ross Chastain ended up winning stage 1, and he had a strong car for the beginning of the race, and then he got involved in a little bit of an accident with the wall, so he ended up not doing as well in the later stages, but props to him for doing well. Chase Elliott won stage 2 and ultimately won the race. But let's talk about some of these guys before we get into the later parts of the race, which you should stick around for here, and let me know your comments on it. But you know, some of these guys, they on Race Hub especially, because the Race Hub is like the pre-show, right? If you're not familiar with NASCAR, Race Hub's like the pre-show that they run before the race. They give their picks. They give a couple of interviews with the drivers. They talk about the race. And, you know, they were praising Kyle Busch for running, you know, so many races. He ran the Coke 600. He ran last night's race, tonight's race, and he's running tomorrow night's race. That's great. I think it's fantastic. Like I said before, I think Kyle Busch is a great driver. Don't like his style of driving. I think he's very aggressive. I think he's, you know, not a good driver in the sense of me liking him, but he's a great driver. I mean, he won 8 races in the trucks at Charlotte. He's won 9 Xfinity races at Charlotte. He is the all-time wins leader in trucks and Xfinity. He does well. He's a 2-time champion. You know, in the real series, you know, he's a great driver, and they were praising him for running every single race this week. I am not, I mean, like, okay, a couple of you guys maybe disagree with me. I don't think that's a big thing. I couldn't do it. I'm not saying I could do it. But, you know, they're not praising these other guys. I mean, Chase Elliott's running, you know, the trucks tonight in 2 races. Of course, he didn't run the Xfinity Series last night. But what about, look at Brett Moffitt ran the Xfinity Series last night. John Hunter Nemechek, he's run every race this weekend. Who else? Austin Hill has run a couple of races. Ross Chastain's running every race this week. A couple of other guys. I saw Timmy Hill in there again. He's run, not, you know, really well in every race, but he's run every race. Why does Kyle Busch get the credit that other guys don't? I just don't think that's fair. You know, Is it because he's winning and that's the story? I don't know. But, you know, shout out to Ross Chastain. Shout out to Timmy Hill. Shout out to Chase Elliott and these other guys who are running 1,400 miles, 1,200 miles in 3-4 days. That's a lot. And not taking anything away from Kyle Busch. That's a really incredible feat. But to just blow by these other guys, it really makes me kind of sad. Because, like, you know, for the most part, Chastain, he's not going to compete in the Cup Series, but he's still going to run all 600 miles, and he did very well last night. Tonight probably could have had a winning car, at least a top 3 or 4, maybe even 5, if he didn't get that accident early. So props to those guys. But let's get into stage 3 and the most exciting part of this video, when it starts at, I think it was lap 33. No, it must have been just the caution before that. Anyways, couple of strategies that happen here is Johnny Sauter pits at, I don't know, I guess I don't really know what it is, but he pits, and it was a great strategy. I really liked the strategy because he wouldn't have had to pit again if he didn't choose to. He could have made it on fuel, and everybody else was going to pit. Now, cautions obviously would have played a role in that, you know, couple more cautions. He would have had older tires. They would have caught him again after they pitted, but I really liked the strategy. And then, of course, 2 laps later, Chase Elliott pits on another caution. So that was great because, again, it was the same kind of principle where Kyle Busch stayed out. He was going to have to come back in, and Chase Elliott was going to then get back up there, and it was going to be good. But another caution comes out. I'm talking, like, you know, 4 cautions in a matter of 10 laps. It was insane. So Kyle Busch finally pits with like 33 laps to go, and then he starts 24th, okay? 24th. Then another caution comes out 2 laps later. Like I said, there was like 3 or 4 cautions within 10 laps of each other, maybe 15. It was insane. So Kyle Busch runs 2 laps under caution, or under green, sorry, after he just pits, gets up to 13th. Then he gets another caution, the caution that I just said. So I'm sorry if I threw a lot of cautions in there, but basically there was a caution, Sauter pit, caution, Elliott pit, caution, Busch pit. Then he runs into 12th. So he started 24th, runs to 12th, another caution. So there's 4. And then he gets up to the top 4 in 4 green flag laps. That's insane. So he started 24th, the back of the pack against slower cars who have pitted. That's why he was able to get up front. He does have that equipment. I'll get into that in a second. But, you know, he had that equipment to get him back up there into 4th place under 4 green flag laps. That's insane. And then how about this? Zane Smith. My goodness. Zane Smith was putting on a show. Went 3 wide twice around Kyle Busch on the bottom. He was being incredibly aggressive. I love that. I think they said he was 20 years old. That's as old as I am. He's running a truck. I don't think the trucks are that hard to run. That's a different video, but I probably couldn't do it, you know, first try at least. But that's not the point. The point is these guys are running very well against a very professional and established guy in Kyle Busch, and Zane Smith was making it look easy. I mean, he was aggressive, but he made it look easy. He looked like Kyle Busch, and Kyle Busch was doing the same thing, going 3 wide down the backstretch, up the hill, down the hill. It was left and right. It was insane. But good job by Zane Smith. I wanted to credit him for sure. Wasn't enough. Kyle Busch finally got around him, but to hold his own, I tell you what. But finally, you know, it was a really good race. Like I said, it's not fair still that Kyle Busch, you know, or Chase Elliott was really in this race. The reason I'm not banging on Chase Elliott that much, 1, I like him. I'll put that out there. But 2, you know, I'm glad that he was able to take the bounty. I don't think he'll be racing the trucks every time like Kyle Busch does. It's kind of the same rants as last night where, you know, Kyle Busch, he owns trucks. He owns a truck. And he's got better equipment and, you know, just everything is up a notch, plus his experience, plus his aggressiveness. Everything is up a notch for Kyle Busch, and that's obviously why he competes every time. That's why he won 7 truck races in a row. It's just not fair for anybody else like Zane Smith, Brett Moffitt, you know, to really compete. Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton, those guys can't really compete against Kyle Busch because they don't have the same equipment as him. And the same thing with Chase Elliott. I know he was running a truck. Obviously, he's Chase Elliott. He can run it a little bit better. But, you know, it's just not fair to those guys. And that's what really upsets me as a fan. I was watching tonight because Kyle Busch does make the race exciting. He does make it competitive. And guys can beat him, but with the advantage that he has, it's it's just not fun. And I'm glad Chase Elliott was able to dethrone him, at least for tonight. You know, of course, I don't want that to become an everyday thing or every race thing, but tonight it was good. So Kyle Busch didn't win. Let's just put it that way. But really, really fun race. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And let's go through the top 10 really quick. Elliott wins, Busch second, Smith third, Brett Moffitt fourth, Sheldon Creed, good finish for him in 5th. John Hunter Nemechek in 6th. Johnny Sauter 7th. Ty Majeski in 8th. Austin Hill 9th. And Ben Rhodes 10th. So there's your top 10. I hope you guys enjoyed this race. Let me know what your thoughts are on the race down in the comments below. And I hope you guys enjoy this series because I enjoy making it. If you want to see more, let me know down in the comments as well. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.